One Focus Radio.
Welcome to the show, it's Dyer's Daily. Keeping in the know, it's Dyer's Daily. We've got chat, we've got discussion, nice and slow, ain't no rushing, reading emails and events. Sometimes he makes no sense. It's time to start the show, it's Dyer's Daily. He'll be there in a mo, it's Dyer's Daily. We've got plays, we've got interviews, even stuff that's in the news. Local and otherwise, come and try it on for size, it's Dyer's Daily.
Hello and welcome to the Dyer's Daily podcast for Thursday the 6th of December 2018. And guess what, dear listener, it is my birthday today, so we'll be talking about that and a little bit more besides, probably another rambly one, but never mind. Before we do that, let's have a listen to some podcasts that are elsewhere. Really? There are podcasts elsewhere? Go on, check them out. Have a listen to this.
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what this Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage since you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode we take a look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how all these games work, or you know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
So yeah, so it'll be like, I'll be like, hey, and then you guys will be like, hi.
Wait, is my
Like,
headphones plugged
and I'll be
in?
like, we are the Drunk Detectives.
Mm-hmm. Meat
All
and
right.
potatoes.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hi. Hi.
we are the Drunk Detectives. We are a true crime comedy podcast.
So we're funny. Sometimes.
So we pair handcrafted signature cocktails with cold, bloody, unsolved murder. We release a new episode every Sunday, and you can find us on the Apple Podcast app, on Google Play Music, Stitcher Radio, and Radio Public. Or you can follow us at www.thedrunkdetectives.com.
Bye.
Dyer's Daily.
Well, dear listener, once a year I sit down and I ponder about the previous years, of which, you know, were before this one. Yeah, everybody has one. It happens once a year, twice if you're the Queen or royalty, and it's something that as you get older, you're not particularly keen on celebrating because it means that you're getting 1 year older. Hopefully 1 year wiser, but for some people, you're not quite so sure. That's right, my dear faithful listener. It is my birthday today, and I am feeling kind of ponderous about the past and what lies ahead, thinking about things that have already been and what will come up. It's been one of those up and down years for me, I can say so. There's lots of different things. You don't need to hear all of my grievances or even all of my successes of the last 12 months. You just need to know that, as with every year, I say to myself, next year it'll be even better. And I think we all say that in some ways. Even if you've had the most amazing year, you go, next year will be even better. Unless you're like, you know, an absolute millionaire and can afford everything and every year is amazing, you go, well, next year will be just as good as this one. But, you know, that's very few and far between for some people. So how old am I today, dear listener? Well, I'm not going to divulge that information. Just say it's before 30, but over 25. It's just sort of, it's around that ballpark. But the thing is, your age doesn't always matter, because no matter who I meet, they think I'm about 18 years old. And you think, if you saw me at 18 years old, I looked like an 18-year-old. I didn't look 28, so I don't really know. I don't know why. Maybe they just think I've stayed youthful, or maybe it's something to do with my mannerism. Maybe I've got that kind of naive thing going on. I don't know. I don't know, but birthdays are always thing, and I think they've become more prominent in the last 10 years because of the invention of Facebook. I mean, most people, you'd never get as many cards as you do messages on Facebook when it's your birthday. The moment somewhere in the world, if you know anyone who lives in a country that is slightly in front of you time-wise, the moment it hits 12 in their country, it just... you start getting it. I mean, in your country, I get them sometimes midday the day before because people are in a country where they're so far ahead that it's already that day, you know? So I wake up on my birthday morning with lots of these messages. We would have never received that many cards back in the day. So is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? You know, does it mean anything? A lot of these people who send me messages of birthday congratulations, a lot of the time, they're people I'm not really that familiar with. It's just come up on their timeline and they've gone, well, you know, I might need this person at some time, so I just wish them happy birthday, which is what you tend to do, don't you? You go, well, I don't normally talk to that person. Maybe this is a chance to open up a forum. Or if you're on LinkedIn, it's a chance for them to sell you their wares by them saying happy birthday and then them hoping they're going to check you out to find out who the whatever you are, and then go and buy their gear. The amount of times that a nice friendly greeting has been, has been plunged into what is basically a sales pitch. So a sales pitch has been turned into a friendly greeting because they'll go, oh, it's so nice to know you, and then in the next breath it's like, you might want to check this out. It's like, you've used this as the way of selling something to me. Everyone is out to sell to you now, even me, dear listener. Go out and check out the other podcasts that are on our service, from South Waves Audio, The Hudson's, South Waves Theatre, Bognor Regis Community Podcast, and, of course, coming soon, the Old Time Review Podcast, and something called Dyer's Daily, whatever that is. See, everybody is out to advertise to you. But hopefully, on your birthday, I think people have the sense... Hopefully, I say hopefully, I might let you know on a future edition of the show whether this comes true or not, but hopefully nobody will try and sell me anything on my birthday, because you know what, that is the one day where you're not really turned on to anything. Yeah, it's the one day where you're not really that bothered about anything else. You're just kind of there, you spend some time with your family, or just some time on your own, depends what you want really, and you have a meal and you have cards and everything else. You're in your own circle for one day. So that really, on their part, if anybody is listening and they're thinking, hey, you know, now I've heard him say that, I'm going to try and sell him something to prove him wrong. Well, guess what, dear listener? The moment that somebody does that, I'm just going to put it straight in the bin. The day afterwards, yeah, fine, I'll check out your amazing new product or cream or shampoo or whatever it is you're selling me. But on that day, you're not going to get anything out of me. It's like adverts on Christmas Day. Sure, there's a big audience for them, but is anyone actually watching the ads? Probably not, because the moment that an ad comes on Christmas Day, we all go, right, let's have a top-up of the eggnog, you know, all that sort of thing. So I don't mean to say this, by the way, to put off any advertisers or to make any claims about the advertising industry, or that the millions of pounds that get put into advertising every year. Don't worry, advertising companies, your ads still will work. I'm sure there's somebody out of the tens of millions who watch TV on Christmas Day, I'm sure you'll sell at least one of your festive treats for this year. I've already mentioned Christmas ads. I mean, a lot of the time they release Christmas ads so early because they know that if they just did it on Christmas Day, a fraction of the people would see it, and it tends to be like a whole festive season of stuff. Yes. So, anyway, now that we've diversed, it's my birthday. Thank you very much. You can say happy birthday now if you want, or you can say whatever. Thank you very much for your kind message. Anyway, do you know what? I find that I start running thin by this time of the podcast. It's 12 minutes long, the whole thing, with little promos at the beginning. Thank you very much, by the way, to the people who send in their promos to be played. I know some people have said that they like the way that's laid out. That is staying into the new year. And while I'm here, actually, I can tell you that it would be quite simple for me to say over Christmas I'm not going to do any episodes. Guess what, dear listener? I'm doing episodes over Christmas. So we're not stopping, we're carrying on. I might have to do them in advance, but I do that anyway. I'm sure that you know that. I'm not sat here every day going, hello, yes, it's the, no. So everybody knows that. So yeah, we're carrying on over Christmas. I'm sure we'll have plenty to say about stuff that's going on or just things that I notice from day to day. Obviously today I had a very simple thing for my birthday, but I don't really know what to do tomorrow. But still, we'll have to have a think about that, and I'll get back to you, and you'll just have to listen to the next podcast to find out, won't you? Yes, so anyway, what did I get for my birthday? I can't tell you really, because I'm actually recording this on Wednesday, because, you know, in your own world and all that, do things in advance, still keeping the train rolling, the South Waves Audio Dyer's Daily train, which unfortunately we've got to bring to a slight halt because I've reached the end of my time. But thank you very much for listening to this edition of Dyer's Daily. My name's Jamie Dyer, always will be. Thank you once again. Be sure to rate, comment and subscribe on your favourite podcast provider, and I shall see you on the next podcast, which will be something of a mystery, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Right, have a great day, one and all. Yeah, let's go.